I hope you had a good lunch. And also, I hope that you were inspired earlier by many of the talks. I thought they were very inspiring. But now I'm not going to be standing here so much to inspire you, but more I'm going to try to help you and be more practical, get a little geeky, get a little into the tools. So my name is Charlotte. I'll go back to introducing myself, but first, let's talk a little bit about what it's going to be about next 25 minutes-ish. So the subject here is how you leverage your social media solutions and data to achieve actionable insights. So to get actionable insights, that's something we want, because we really want to be able to drive business results, right? So this is kind of one of the tough questions, and it's very connected to that. What is the value of social media? And I really, really hope that by the end of this presentation, you'll be equipped a little bit better to be able to answer that question. The focus today is going to be on how you can leverage all these social media tools that you're hopefully using to really get better data, to break down the silos in your company, but also to get these actionable insights and to answer this question. So, as a part of this, I'll give you my best tips on how to distribute and track your content and how to really improve the way that you do that. And as part of that, I'll give you 3 real-life examples of how we actually drove a campaign to get all of you guys here in this room today. Yes, real examples. And I'm going to show you how we used some of the tools that you can also go and see here today to actually leverage that, how we use them to track our content, and finally, how you can go and use all that to evaluate in the best possible way. And along the way, we're going to look at this number. It's a fucking amazing number, I'm telling you. I'm going to get back to why it's so good. But before so, I want to really emphasize why this is one of the main points today, evaluation. I cannot stress enough how important evaluation is for the work we do with social media. If we don't properly find the value and connect it, evaluate that, might as well just put on a blindfold, sit somewhere in the corner, and let the bots and the AI do all the work. And that would be a shame, right? So the problem is just that evaluation is hard, and this is going to be about giving you some tools and help and tips on how to get better at it. This is how hard it can sometimes be. Yeah, we're going to get back to this as well, and how to not feel like this. We really don't want to feel like this. You probably do sometimes. So, just quickly about me. My name is Charlotte Kølkjær. I work as a social media solutions consultant at Infomedia. I worked with more than 250 clients, helped them with their strategy on how to use their social media solutions the best way. So I really like to get down and dirty and practical in the actual tools that you use. And while I'm doing that, I'm working very closely with our partners who are also here today. This photo is a photo of me from Japan, cuddling with an owl. It's alive, actually. And if somebody here is from Hootsuite, I hope you get the message, like, I'm there for you. But otherwise, I work with Brandwatch, I work with Hootsuite, I work with Steerfox closely about these tools. So it's going to be about them, and also the examples I'm going to come with today are straight from these platforms as well. So let's get into business. So how many here are social media managers or content managers, something like that? Just show me some hands. Oh, wow. That was actually more than I expected. Amazing. Yay, guys. So most of you guys are probably aware of aligning your content with the message you're sending and considering what channels to send them to afterwards. But often when we run campaigns, and it's not just one post, we can really get lost, and managing to track this, and we're constantly battling to get this engagement And it can be a little bit overwhelming, and it can be difficult to also measure and go and show, like, this is why I need more budget, like, this is the value of my work. So I'll take you through a couple of examples to sort of show you what you can do to get further on that path. These are 3 posts from the campaign we ran, again, to get you here today. And these are organic, all of them, and basically they're a little bit different, they're also very much the same. We wanted to get you guys to get tickets, so that's the overall purpose. But behind that, we did a lot of tracking to figure out which of them worked the best way and so on. So the point is, the most important thing was that you would show up. And I don't care which one of these posts actually made that happen, but it's very, very important that I, by the end of the day, know which one it is, but also that I understand why. So what can we do to do that? Really practical example. This is from Hootsuite. And this is an example of what we actually put in the backend to track this post, and that enables us to evaluate it in the end. First of all, the campaign. This is the campaign we ran to do the Art of Social. I want to be able to track that. If I connect all of the content that I sent to this campaign, I'll be able to pull a report, very easily see the results. How did we do? Secondly, I also want to be able to track what happened after you clicked my link. That's pretty crucial. But I want that to be really consistent for the data I get afterwards. When I look in Google Analytics, Adobe, whatever I use, I want that to kind of be connected. So this is automated. Automatically, there are some UTM parameters behind this that is actually connected. Clever, right? And then there is the content part. So I want to know what kind of content drives whatever purpose I have and make sure that it fits my goal. You see here, I actually have this like call to action of sign up here. In the end, I could go in and track and figure out that Facebook was the channel that actually gave most clicks on this link when I asked them to sign up. So practical, right? But it works. Good. We did a lot of posts, more than 3, I assure you. These are some examples of them and how they looked. This is a way to get your overview, really get it, make sure you can connect all of your campaign, use a library, use a content calendar, figure out how to set up a dashboard. We can help you do that. So these are my main tips. This is what you should take away to really leverage your tools to get the most out of your organic content. Use content tags, they will be your best friend. Use your campaigns, set that up, it will save you so much time in reporting. Consider how you do UTM tracking, make sure it's consistent. You want to get clean data, and get everything into a content calendar, bring it together. So, unfortunately, organic is not always enough. You probably all know that by now. It's not always enough to get us to the goal. The problem is that we have to make engaging content. But making engaging content is not something you just do. It's time consuming, it's difficult, and also to get the engagement that your goal is, you need reach. This is what reach looks like today on social. So that the black part, that's a 6% reach. To me, it always makes me think of this. It's like a Pac-Man example, it's not a good thing. It's like, what do we do about it? Obviously, we can resolve to using paid social. So, unfortunately, it's not without its challenges as well. So, when you run social ads, you still have a problem of reach. I don't remember how many times these algorithms changed, how many times the setup changed. It's getting out of hand, and it's hard to keep track on. It's difficult, simply. Also, to build campaigns and to optimize them in the proper way for paid is time-consuming, and it's complex. You have so many options, like so many different varieties of ads. Which one are you going to pick? And where should I put my budget? And how should I optimize it? And then this is one of my my favorite points. I see so many times when I speak to my clients that you have paid over here and you have organic over here, and they're just siloed and they're having fun over here, but nobody takes the time to put it together and actually consider, like, could this message be better on organic? Can we measure it? How do we find out where the value is? So, what to do about that? Tools, yes. You can use your tools to actually help you do this. You can do split testing. Split testing is testing different versions of ad creative and seeing what works best at the lowest cost. Or it is testing different audience segments to see who responds the most at the lowest cost. So basically, it's the most optimal way of doing paid social. Really recommended. Also, instead of manually fighting through the complex jungle of these ads, you can use tools to automate your optimization. This means that you can take the budget and moving to the best performing ads automatically. The tool does it for you, and you get the most out of your money. And in the end, evaluate in one place. Take things together and figure out where is the best return on whatever time or money we invest. So, back to the example. It's real life. I promise you, these are ads that we have been running. Maybe some of you actually clicked on and bought the tickets today. I don't know. So for this specific ad, we wanted to test two different creatives. The text here is the exact same, but creatives are different. So let's play a little game. I want to ask you guys, who thinks ad number 1 drew the most traffic? Okay. And who thinks it's number 2? Okay, it's fairly equal. Definitely most people thought it's number 1. You're wrong. This one is the winner. This was the best performing one, and it was also the ad that we ended up optimizing for. But something interesting popped up, because what if I ask you this question instead? What ad drew more awareness? And we're not going to do this again, because you can probably figure out where I'm going, right? We have another winner. So this is an issue, because now I have 2. Which one am I going to optimize for? And like, what ad is actually the best one? This is just basically me saying, remember to set up your goals before you start doing this. Remember to consider what is it that you want. In this case, we definitely wanted the traffic because we're selling tickets through a link. But it could be for lots of other content that awareness was the most important point. So remember that. So back to the main tips. How should you get the most out of your advertisement tool? Use split tests. It's awesome. Make sure that you set up automatic optimization. Pull down those silos, really, and take the data together, and then make sure that you know what your goal is, because it's really, really hard reaching a goal that you're not aware of. Good. So, third option. This is about employee advocacy. To be honest, this is my favorite part of distributing content. It's something that we see people are getting more and more interested in. I have a lot of conversations with clients at Infomedia wanting to get this implemented. And I can really understand why, because we're seeing some pretty extraordinary numbers behind this. Basically, successful employee advocacy will extend reach through your colleagues. It will enhance trust of your brand. Also, you can really make sure that you build a consistent voice and messaging through your employees. But maybe most importantly, this is something that really drives employee engagement. So your employees get happier by doing this. Happier, really. So why not? Why not let them be a part of it? Some actual numbers behind these things is that we see that we get 8 times more engagement with posts or on posts shared by employees compared to what you would send through your marketing channels. Also, we're able to reach a completely new audience. 92% of the people who see the posts that your employees make have never seen your own marketing channels, your own LinkedIn page, etc. And then also you get 5 times more reach on these updates. So me posting personally 5 times more than if I posted on Infomedia's channels. It's worth considering, right? So, of course, we use this for the campaign, for the Art of Social. Actually, we're using employee advocacy very actively at Infomedia. So I can really testify to how good this stuff is. These are just 5 posts. And just to give you an idea of where we are numbers-wise here, Henrik, who is one of the guys up there, Henrik, he has more than 5,000 followers on his LinkedIn. To put that in perspective, that is almost the same as Infomedia has on all their social media channels. So if we actually time that up and we find key advocates like these 5 people, we can really get far. In this very specific case, we reach more than 15,000 people just by this one push, organically, free of charge, right? 15,000 people, it's quite a lot. So in order to do that, in order to really measure and put the value behind it, few tips are necessary. Think about the distribution of how you do this. Make it smooth, make it fun and easy for employees. And in Infomedia, we use an app from Hootsuite called Amplify. It's very nice, you just get a notification, share it. It's that simple. Also, identify the right topics. Consider who are you sending this out to? You probably have many different departments in your company. Think about what kind of audiences the people from these departments have and sort of tailor it. Don't just send the same out to everybody. And then make sure that you have a framework where you can measure and compare. Make sure that you use tagging, set up unique links so you can actually measure what the traffic this is driving. Also, use the content tags, as I talked about before. Use the tools that can actually do that. And then you can measure and you can go down and compare and see, well, what brought the biggest return? Because that's basically what we want to know, right? So, back to this number, my favorite number. So, if we leverage all this, and let's say that I just send a post out to be shared to everybody at Infomedia. This is the number of people we would reach. 240,000 people organically. Like seriously, 240,000. That's amazing. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys work in companies with more than 200 employees. Just make them, do the math and think about how far you can go organically. So, the tips I want to give you: distribution is important. Consider how you send this. Don't make it tedious. Don't make it annoying. Think about mapping out these topics. Also, find your key advocates and make them stars. Measure and adjust based on the data that you get, and figure out to connect and combine this data with all the other data that you have. That is something that will help you evaluate in the end. And evaluation is where we really want to go, right? So whatever we do with our content, however we distribute, like who we send it to, who our target audience is, we have to always ask ourselves, what is the value and how do we measure it? It's not that easy, but I hope I can help you do that a little bit here. So very, very important part of figuring that out is to set clear goals for your social media strategy. According to a study by Altimeter, only 34% of organizations think that their social media strategy is connected to the overall business goals. That's a really big issue if you're a social media manager. Consider that. And this problem is something that we can solve by getting sharper in our evaluation. And in order to demonstrate the value of social media, we need to set goals that attribute to the existing business goals. It needs to be connected. We need to show how this is actually good for the entire company and not just in our little silo. And to do that, we can actually go and map out the value of social media, because it's not just about buys in a web shop. And I just want to take you through a nice method of doing this. So this is not the actual answer to what the value of social media is. This is how you can go and figure out what value is for your organization. Consider what financial value it has. Consider if you can actually hire a new person through employee advocacy, through social media, how much money it's going to save your HR department. Or consider how much cheaper it might be to generate leads or do sales through this. Consider what publication value your efforts can have. Go in and have a look at whether you can actually drive traffic to a massive, could be a PR effort, trying to bring out this message. Could we include social media in this? What value would that have? Also, I think, and this is really getting more and more important, we can use social media to get more loyalty and to work on our retention on social media. That by creating communities and really improving your customer relations. And lastly, consider what the insights that social media has is, how that's going to be able to help you. Like, what does it mean that we can actually find a completely new audience we didn't have an idea of, target them through social media? Maybe quite a lot. But it's not even that simple. And the only way you can actually get to here is by bringing your tools together. But back to this guy, it's not that easy. It can feel a little bit disturbing. I don't know, like, if you guys can relate, like, to this guy right now when you're trying to plug your tools together and put everything in Excel sheets and so on. It's a mess. So my biggest advice to you is consider how your tools integrate. Consider how you can put things together. Consider, what is your CRM tool? Does this fit with that social media tool? How can we fit those together? Does our customer service department have a certain tool, and would it make sense to bring that in to actually be able to compare this data and to bring that value? Could also be BI tools, asset management, so on. When you're going to go shopping for social media tools, make a list of all the tools that from all your departments that could be relevant, and that should be a big part of your influence of choosing a tool. And if we manage to do that, we can get something like this. This is from Hootsuite Impact. It's an analytics tool. It's quite extraordinary in my opinion. We want to be able to evaluate our efforts in a combined way. And for this, we can pull in all the content tags that we created. We can go and click in all, well, not the integration, all the web integration that we have. We can actually see everything from the likes, from the comments, down to link clicks, even eventually to the buys that we have through this if you connect your e-commerce platform. Pulling it all together will make you choose and make the right decisions on where you should put your budget, right? Also, from Impact, this is where you can go if you really manage to integrate. The answer that you can get from this is, well, based on all our efforts, what is the channel that gives me my biggest return on investment? Or, based on this specific topic, where is the value for that? In the end, you can say, well, next time we do a campaign, this should be where we mostly put our efforts. So that was a lot of data talk, right? That's getting really geeky. And what we need to also do is to stop, breathe, learn, and listen. A completely different way of evaluating what you're doing is using social listening. This is from 2 days ago, the talk on social media around this subject. If you want to go see how the talk is today, you can go out to Brandwatch, and they will have lovely big screens showing you exactly how you guys are talking about the event today. what I can use this for is to really get a proper understanding of what is important. So tomorrow, maybe, we'll probably have a look at this. We'll look at what was the most important topic for you people. All of you guys who tweeted, who talked on social media, what was most interesting to you? Also, did some of the speakers really step out? Maybe McGinnis, that guy was really good, right? So maybe he's going to be the one who pops out. Or is there some issue that we weren't aware of? Or maybe like practical things like the venue. What did you guys Instagram the most? Did you take a lot of photos of that candy? Or what was it that sparked it? And eventually, we should boil all that down and use it to make an even better event next year, right? And the last part is the distribution of all this. It doesn't really help to have a ton of insights if it's going to be buried in some PDF document. Like what's the point then? Consider how you can distribute this. Consider using your tools to automate reports. Consider if you can actually put some of this data on screens in your office. I'm sure lots of you, like at Infomedia, have screens in office space. Use a tool that can actually show the best insights, whatever is relevant for the people working in that space. Put it up on the screens and share it. So these are the points. Set goals and make sure that they attribute to the overall business goals. It's actually where you really get to the place where you want to go. And one thing that can help you do that is to map out the value that social drives. Bring your data together in order to actually measure this and document it. Listen and learn, and share the insights. So I don't have much time, so let's just go to how our campaign actually went. You're probably curious to hear how we did. I can tell you that a couple months ago, we set a goal. We wanted to have 250 people here. I don't know if you noticed, we're a bit more than that. We have 450 people today. And that happened because this spread on social media. Most of the tickets that we sold went through social media channels. So it does really work, I assure you. So if you want to know more, please talk to me or my colleagues. I'm going to put my lab coat back on. I just really didn't want to wear it on stage. But find us guys in the lab coats or go talk to our partners. We'll love to talk to you about how you can actually leverage your data. Or otherwise, get in touch, send me an email, connect on LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to discuss further. Thank you.